Obviously, I have to win, but like, we've got to make it interesting on the predictions game. Into the game, though, straight up mid, they will rush here on the CT side, sending an early message, and it's not very well received. Redragon, they'll trade 3 back. Tata with a keen double. Feels like it's kind of saved the round, you know. Initial frags, bomb dropped a little bit in the open. So really, really solid stuff. Kind of predictable from EndGame, but it's predictable for a reason. Nearly wins them the round in the first kind of 15 seconds.
Redragon put the brakes on this round. Slowed it down so much, and we're going to flash long to fake it out a little bit. Or slowly easing their way down mid. Link up with their teammate and can actually jump up onto towards Catwalk. There's nobody on the ace bomb site. Coldazina. It's actually rotating towards CT. The lack of noise cues is helping Redragon so much to work up, and EndGame, they got no idea. They're going for a big shock when this bomb starts to get planted, but as of right now, they're very much out of position.
Yeah, bomb goes down. Going to be an easy 15 seconds bought here. No kit. So yeah, really not going to be easy, and they just got to go for it, right? You just have to send it, walk in, get into a decent enough position, and we'll see. First player shouldn't be too difficult. Doesn't get hard checked, but low HP was mainly just the info gatherer. Now you kind of have one tap, one clear out. It's not going to be easy. First frag comes in. Glock picked up by Coldzinia, trying to find the 2 heads here, but the round's already won. And Akela can just run away, and yeah, no worries. Coldzinia gets a kill. If she can keep a hold of the armor cleanly, I think the bomb's going to shave a bit of it off, though, and she actually loses her head. So all in all, a clean finish coming in from Redragon to take the pistol.
Listen, I'm feeling good. Redragon pistol underway in nice fashion as well, and I'm feeling the reverse sweep here in ESL Impact South American region. Full investment from EndGame. Double scout in play. There'll be at least one of them peeking mid as the B rush comes in. We've seen this before in ESL Impact, and early trade comes in. Nami Molotov is going to force her back, and the utility is brilliant to isolate out these positions, and honestly, they should save from here. This retake is so hard on the B-bomb side of Dust2.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably the hardest. What do you reckon?
Almost certainly. Give me a minute. I'll try and think of a harder one. But yeah, off the top of my head, almost certainly the hardest.
Yeah, definitely in the pool at the moment. You know, there's going to be some Iris main out there who tries to dispute us, but in the competitive map pool is what we're talking about.
It's just the choke points. The choke points are so tight, and there's so many positions you can play from. And it's like, go down the list. It's hard to use utility. There's barely any good entry flashes to retake the site. It's so easy to set up crossfires and peek off each other's contact. There's almost no bad way to play a B after plant. You have to make a lot of mistakes to let them have a window, and as soon as you got utility to put back on the doors or remolly window or smoke the tunnels, you know, it's just impossible when saving becomes by far the best option. And it was a good deal they did save Scriv, because Nami can open it up with that save scout.
Yo, this is nice as well. The push-up short, it's left mid very vulnerable, that early kill. Flash is ineffective. Whoa. Jess struggling to find that kill and can't get away. Lilzinia in with the trade.
Well, the bombs here could get dropped by these 2 players, and Akela had to find both those frags. 1-for-1 wouldn't have been good enough because the bomb could have been dropped, and pivotal duels, and Redragon a golden opportunity now to stabilize in this very, very dicey round.
Yeah, the scout's trying to find a cheeky frag to ease the pressure. Smoke's not quite ideal. Yeah, if Little Flicks had dedicated to it, could have dropped the bomb there. They certainly have an opportunity if they want to go hunting to drop Duty. Duty's hidden away. Trying not to give them anything here and just gathering information at the end of the day. Hoping to get some timing. Ooh, it's a bit rough. It should do. Uses the shadow to her advantage and now just LaFlix, there you go. Getting one, of course. Bit of a wrist breaker on the scout. That'll be a Galil retrieved and maybe dragged into the next round. It's a bit of damage. It's a good bit of damage, but oh, and an AK, yes, definitely saved into the next round. So third round in for Redragon. EndGame, not making it easy for him. Has yet to pick one up, of course.
Good damage, we say in the business, but I have to say, LaFlix. Can you remember many flicks in this series from LaFlix? I feel like we need to see a few more.
True.
Needs to live up to the name. It's a bold statement, and you know, if you're called 40 frags Joe, I'm expecting some 40 bombs. So LaFlix, need to live up to your choices. Let's have some good pivots, some good aim. Flicks. Long control on the cards of both teams. Flashes coming out behind these two players. Early trade. Sinon also goes down. The utility looked good. The frags weren't found. And suddenly, Redragon in a great position here. Oh, no. Smoke doesn't work. And the Flicks just getting out of dodge.
Great flash to get a player in towards pit as well. Really solid control now for Redragon. How do they get back into this one then? I'm sure that's the big question they are asking themselves. They try and find some mid-aggression. They will meet resistance. It's all a question of timing. Can we clear our angles before it comes in? Now, they're actually going to use the lower tunnels pressure, but at least two spotted at the top end of mid there by the AWP. Smoke towards Xbox. Will be heard going up short. The bomb making its way down long.
Yeah, this smoke isn't going to cover the cross. And that bomb is still on the long side. Oh, they get away with it. They get away with that. Could have been terrible. Lulu in shorts. Going to take out a Keller. And suddenly, these two players are so penned in here on the bomb site. And unfortunately, the case for them is only headshots going to bail them out from here on there. So kind of sandwiched into this site position.
Yeah, not easy. However, not an awful lot of utility for the endgame side to work with, so really going to have to pick up the pace and use the numbers. Slow move towards short. LaFlix peeks back in on 13 HP, leaving just Jess with only 18 to clutch up from Gandalf. The bomb not planted for her. Spray down comes in, but it's not quite going to be enough. He says the defuse occurs. Too quick headies landing. Endgame will get the round, but the damage definitely there from Jess.
Good. Reinvestment comes in from Redragon. This is all the money they got. Might be 2 rounds to the good. But if they lose it here, money's going to get horribly reset, and their loss bonus is not good at all. So for endgame, an important round here, a good chance to break the money, and LaFlix opening pick on towards mid, early on catwalk, looks great and puts her team in a great advantage.
Yeah, endgame not wanting to lose out on that advantage of the previous round. So we'll see. Short aggression maybe coming in as well. Nice flash around, but they can't find anything off the back of it. Pretty run-of-the-mill mid-hold there. Leaving B very vulnerable, to be fair. But they have an info player down in Namie, so maybe they can be a bit looser. Pretty nice setup so far from the CT end.
Yeah, playing into mid. Finding the frags, and we're looking at Redragon saying the default potentially allowing too many opportunities to end game. Going to post up, and I think it's going to be the save. Hiding in behind the box. Keller here, Tatters on the other angle, and maybe the flank will come in, but this round is over. And of course, we always say it with the saves on this T side. They're going to put this money so out of balance. Make buys down the road all the more difficult to contemplate. Tata finds one. And these players in mid are slowing down a little and not really going super hard for the hunt. So They do survive, but now cash is out of balance. Their teammates are on terrible money as well, so they'll have to eco. And even if you eco into the next, you're only getting 3 rifles out, assuming these rifles don't survive. So they might even consider a full buy into this one. Some days being dropped around, but it's just the save. Eagle in play. Hopefully, for their sake, these AKs can do some work, some economic damage in this round. Oh, that was good.
Lovely. Love a good 1D to start the round off, especially when you need anything you can get here. So yeah, spawn-based play, as Dust2 often can be for that T side, works pretty well for Redragon and puts a lot of pressure on EndGame now to not make any dodgy decisions moving forwards. And you don't quite know what you're up against as well, right? They've saved, they might have force behind it. Flix has been spotted. Trying to grab the gun here. And those pesky, invisible, stretchy arms will mean that they're able to get it away. So another AK now in the mix. Unfortunately, nobody else invested into armor, so it's not as deadly as it could have been, but it's still present. Smoke coming in. Cover the cross. They kind of fluffed it last time, so hopefully not going to be the case.
This could crumble so fast for the CT side. They are so pinched on this bomb site. You can see now they've decided we've got to fight into long. Short is too open. And luckily for their sake, they're winning the duels, but I kid you not. One frag of that goes the way of the T side and they all die immediately. That was really scary.
Yeah. Yeah, and definitely feels like the utility really making the difference on that one, right? You know, a bit more behind it for Redragon certainly could have made things much scarier, like you say. Not going to be the case. Nice shot from Tata at the end, but that will be all she gets. Up to 3 then. EndGame evening things up, and again, yeah, buys coming in, but Tata and Akella don't really have a lot of cash, so EndGame with a solid chance to start running away with things.
Yeah, we often say that Dust2 is simple in the sense that if you lose long, take short. If you lose short, take long back. And EndGame had the right idea. You could just see that was way too late to make that decision, wasn't it? They're trying to push back into long, and Redragon already swarmed in the area, and that's why I was dropping the hints that it could domino so quickly. But of course, they just about survive it. Slow default. Couple down mid. And it's a bit of a bit of an understatement, actually, because it's a really strange buy. 2 players fully invested. Akel is bought up on a deagle and nades, but V and Tata still have money in the bank. They're not on the same page here with the buy, and this money out of balance is going to continue into the next round as well. This is 2, 3, maybe 4 rounds in a row where the economy is questionable, to put it lightly.
Well, they'll try out mid. And probably, you would assume, go B, but I think they're hoping for someone to overstep. Now, there's 3 players ready and waiting on the B bomb site, so this is going to be very difficult. Nami only gets 1. Damage is in, info, importantly, is in, alongside the 1 kill, right? And on Dust2, again, another map where you can maybe give that away. You can see why. The solid hold on B. It's just too much to get through. The rotators now in to backstab as well. Losing a couple, but nothing coming. Redragon, they get the mid control, but it was all a trap. It's what EndGame wanted them to do.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, you can see the cash here for this T side. Tata and V can full buy and again run a spot where their teammates can't. So Pause is going to come out, and needless to say, the economy here will be a big talking point for them. I think you just play it safe. Take a half buy, get this money back in balance, and have the full investments, because these rounds where they've had to play contact heavy, where they haven't had the utility late, they took some of them close, but that lack of nades at the very end of the round is playing right into EndGame's defenses. Do we get to buy up anything here? As I mentioned, half buy for me is definitely the way to go right now.
It's really tough, isn't it? Because it still feels early on in the half, but these are the types of decisions that will start to dictate how it goes. And we talked about the momentum. It seems pretty prominent on a map like Dust2 in general across the board, yes, but also in a matchup like this, think if you can't get yourself into the game, it can be very difficult to get started. And again, somewhat misleading of a scoreline so far. Pistol for Redragon, but EndGame looking really good on the rifles, actually. You know, there's 4 rounds in a row, good couple of rifle rounds. There's economy working against you, but the ways in which they've been approaching these CT sides have looked really solid. So I think for me, it's a difficult one for Redragon to really start bouncing back from.
Now, you remember in the break, Scriv, I hinted that I'd spotted something amazing. And if production is listening, if you could bring up the cam of Tata. Now, have you seen Narcos, Scriv?
Yes.
Presumably you know Tata, the character.
Oh, it's been a while, to be honest.
You might need to Google it.
Yeah.
But I want you to look at Tata here on the camera and look at the picture of Tata in Narcos.
Okay. A career change, maybe, for the actress. I see what you mean. Yeah, there's a good...
It's pretty close.
Good deal of similarity.
It's close enough where I would wager over 50-50 that she chose the name because she looks like the actress.
Okay, possible. Very possible.
Can we get confirmation on this either way?
Yeah, we'll
this
have
is
to,
what we need.
We'll have to figure out. Maybe it's like a kind of nickname as well that's fairly common.
It could be.
That's another angle.
Maybe her real name is Tata. I have no idea.
Well, see, I'm on Google now, and the character is called Maria, also known as. So, you know, they seem a little, to us, I guess, as, you know, English native speakers, a little further apart. So maybe it's just a nickname of I don't know.
No, I was on about the player. Is it her real name?
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure. That's where it gets a little difficult. That kind of information is pretty rare with the ladies. Not all of them have got pages. Let's see. We've had a document that has the matches and stuff. Maybe it's on there. We've got time, apparently.
This is important public information.
It is.
Maybe she's a HLTV profile.
Team rosters.
No.
Oh, here we go. Let me find them. I have to scroll through. Where are we looking? I'm gonna butcher this. Her first name is Tassa, I think. Taissa. So Tata is not too far of a stretch for a nickname for Tassa. Tassa? I don't know.
I'm looking at it now. It's Taissa.
Yeah.
We are so sorry to everyone that actually knows how to pronounce these names.
It went maybe a little deeper than you'd expected when you brought it up, but we have to do our due diligence for the history of the names. You know, like Vi, for example, Vittoria makes sense. Jess, for example, Jessica makes sense. So yeah.
You don't say. But Akella is called Mari.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So that one, this is okay. We've got it. For the next season of ESL Impact, we need like videos for like the breaks where they explain where their nicknames came from. And then we'll get to the bottom of this. We'll find out if Tata truly chose the Tata name after watching Narcos,
we should also,
or is totally unrelated.
Yeah, true. We should also maybe, you know, stop giving these free content ideas away. I think the creative juices are flowing quite well tonight. So
should head down,
because that also feels like a banger one in general, you know, to just ask all players and get as a content piece. I think people would be interested a little bit in where it comes from, just for sort of your filler content. Because I guess we do a lot of fill-in right now. Maybe it could go here if we know we've got a tech pause for 2 or 3 minutes. We could have a bit of chit chat and then we'll be like, yo, have you ever wondered? And then just kind of feed into like a 10-15 second content piece.
And if you'd like to see these content pieces, please clip the Twitch and who would you tweet at? Just tweet at Joe Miller, I guess. He's probably the best positioned. Joe Miller, Carmack. I'm not sure the other producers are terribly publicly known, but if you do know them, Tom, Eric, Philip, those guys, these are the people. We need to be listening. We need these contents. We're back in the game. This is what the viewers are here for. They've had enough of us talking, and we're back underway.
Yes, Counter-Strike, back where it's meant to be. So, of course, the half bite coming in, it's a bit of a shame, isn't it? We get the extended pause. It's going to be, one would assume, a bit more of an anticlimactic one now. Namely, underneath the Xbox smoke. Nice little move. Gathers all this information. Molly comes in. Oh, and a big nade. Smoke about to go down. Namey up with the peak, and they're all so low. They just fall over those three. Wonderful stuff. Able to get away, and that's going to be the round. Surely secured off the back of the short play.
B. Trying to connect on the Eagle. But no success found. The CT side is stabilized thick and fast for endgame. And again, it's a topic we had on Inferno, but it's got to be said, their anti-ecos are remarkably clean. Certainly more so than Redragon, and it does them so much, such a blessing when it comes to the rifle rounds and the opportunity to take losses and bounce back. And yeah, we might be early on here on Dust2, but I need to see a little bit more from Redragon before I'm cracking out the jersey.
Yeah, true. Very true. So we'll see. This is, you know, one of those telling rounds that we're kind of looking for here. Minute and 25. Nice flash forces Namey off, and quietly they'll make their way up short. If they follow up, there's a pretty reasonable defense. The flicks out in the open, flash to get her off could certainly work. Looks like they are indeed going to go for it. Go for it dry, though. Head spotted. The flicks can't find it, but the setup is here, right? Another opportunity, this one taken. And the short control as well as the kill coming in pretty easily. Oh, and another nade.
It's a juicy nade. Juicy nade. Love to see it. Keller's trying to work long as Duty's doing the same in mid, and thus far the Jules where the CT's just is finding the reply. But look at this tunnels push. The timing could be excellent to drop the bomb. Keller's coming in from top mid. Oh, this is on such a knife edge. Who's going to peek first? Walking out into the open is Jess. Trade comes in from Tata, but left alone. 24 HP. Information for that CT side. The flicks here is posted on the cross, and it's actually Lulu. Long push that finds the frag. And yet again, another round free alive for endgame, banking up cash. Redragon failing to get plants and having good opportunities for repeat buys. And they're actually going to buy into this one, Scriv, and it's not going to be great. There might be some AKs on the board, but not everyone's going to have them.
Mm-hmm. Definitely getting scary now, isn't it? Especially with a bit of a send it buy here that they've gone for. So, yeah, endgame ball firmly in their court. Someone surely got their bingo card finished by now. I don't know. I mean, I'm full of them. I am full of them, the cliche phrases. But certainly applies here. Endgame in the driver's seat. There's another one for you for free.
You haven't said blind as a bat, dead as a dodo.
True. That's very true. See if we could slot them in. Dead as a dodo in mid is Duty. So there you go. That actually flows pretty well. Blind as a bat is maybe a bit harder to get in there. We need some good flashes for that to work. Either way, little flicks in on the site, ready for the attack to come in. They're still going to try and send it here. Bomb's pretty late behind them, so find a bit of time for the rotations. Xenia goes aggressive. The flicks behind the smoke. It's going to dissipate in a second, but she is trying to find something through it. USP is out and ineffective. Bought some time for the rotations, however.
This is T-sided right now. Three on the bomb site and a player on long. The bomb is a good long plant, and two players trapped in CT. They're going to really struggle to get up, and Haddo's decided to take the fight to short, and suddenly these two players coming out from CT are so isolated. There is a smoke here, but it can only do so much to cut off the angles. Just repositions, getting a bit late. But yeah, it was LaFlix, wasn't it, on the bomb site? She was so isolated from her teammates. Tries to take fights when maybe hiding in Gandalf and waiting was the better call. And EndGame, after such a great streak against lower buys, they drop the ball, and the only consolation is they had enough money banked up for this not to be the end of the world, but can't be making too many of those mistakes.
Yeah, the brute force buy works out. Let's double check into the lower tunnels here for Redragon. Certainly have to extend this one round that they've managed to pick up. So, yeah, EndGame, I think, a bit of a weird one in the last one, right? Is that going to replicate into the rifle round? Difficult to say. But they did pretty well on their CT side of Inferno at bouncing back quick.
Nades exchanged in mid. Tiny bit of chip damage onto Duty, so will not or want to be meeting a headshot from an M4. Plenty of Tilly expended, and I wonder if Akela spotted two players there. If they did, they'll know to really speed up onto A, but the spacing is not good. The Flick's given the first opportunity, but can't connect. Second time of asking is a lot better, and that looked like a collateral to me. Tada left low, and EndGame hammer right back.
Yeah. You got to argue, don't you, right? When there's a degree of normalcy, a degree of stability, as we like to say, the rounds look pretty good. When EndGame have a read and, you know, their bits of aggression or their setup or whatever works for them, looks really dominant. Redragon, crazy fast. Maybe an unexpected buy. You've got to make room for that as well as a theory. Yeah, the fourth round I think is definitely an outlier and what we would probably call in the biz a fluke. So EndGame kind of proving that fact, and Redragon can't use that fluke to their advantage. Vi though, fantastic stuff against two. Patience pays off. Crosshair placement absolutely perfect, and another hero AK moment has actually worked for them again.
Sin on. Lulu, they've pushed mid, but they're giving up so many noise cues. V should be hearing all of this and telling her teammates, go A. They can't be many in defense. That bomb is indeed going to get planted. So much utility here on the retake, but it's going to be crucial for EndGame to play together and use those nades wisely, because Redragon still have a chance here.
Yeah, it's looking kind of rough. However, a bit of an oversight down short. 2-on-2 look pretty good. Tata recovers an A1S and finds another as well. So now just into the 1v1 for Sinon. Half HP, you know, not going to be easy here. Smoke goes down, flash to back it up. Just going to try and go for the cheeky hold, but the wide swing is easy for Tata, and they will indeed get it over the line. Another crazy, wacky send it round from Redragon pays off.
Be there on the AK, doing a lot of work. Right place, right time as that tunnels push came in, and maybe EndGame paying the price for being, you know, proactive when they didn't need to be. They potentially could have read the money here. It was close. Redragon's loss bonus was high enough that there could have been the rebuy. So I understand, but maybe when you don't see so many nades early on, you could have made the guess and cancelled the tunnels push. So a little bit of a misread on the money, and they pay the price for that mistake. Redragon up to 5. Money is terrible for EndGame, so Redragon handed an opportunity here on a platter to build up a lot of T rounds at the end of the half.
Ooh, again, Vi with a keen entry. They opt to go towards B super fast. And I mean, you know, they're not really committing, as you can see. It seems to be a bit of a let's see what happens kind of move. So if these players in from middle can regain the lost ground, then the round gets a bit weird, doesn't it? There's players all over the shop, though, flanking each other out. 1v1v1v1 until all is said and done. Lulu's in here, left on her lonesome, probably expecting the bomb to go towards B, but actually it's going A. And Vi, I don't think she quite spotted her. He's going to get the drop. Yeah, Lulu's in, you're not able to win that fight. So there you are, 7-6. I mean, Redragon this time around have taken it and run with it and probably going to get another. So we're looking down the barrel of a super close, even as it gets half once again.
Same story as Inferno, first and second half. So nothing out of the ordinary for this series, but EndGame on this round alone, 5 USPs in play. Nade down mid. Good read, I guess. I've never seen that before, but learn something new every day, Squid. Maybe it is a good idea up against Felipe's.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe indeed. They'll lose one for their trouble, but they will gain all 5 and get the 7th round as well to boot. So 8-7, the best anyone can hope for in this situation. And once again, Redragon kind of running it back a little bit towards the tail end of the first.
No up on the CT side. Could limit their setup to Tad. Tata spots the head. Of course, on the new Dust2, you can cross closer to the doors and not have your head spotted, so maybe EndGame can think about changing that up later on, but didn't make any difference here, and they got the information the ult was mid, which was quite nice. So all's well that ends well, and just a default setup for the moment for Redragon as they start to think about this catwalk control.
Vi again, looking for pressure over at B. I'll Flash gain some information for the CT side. Sinon, it's about to get a bit weird. Flash comes through as the Molotov goes down, takes a leg, I think, from the AWP, and struggling to get out, getting stuck on the baskets. But will indeed find the first and get out for EndGame. Meanwhile, Duty has found pressure in towards middle, but the angle is not quite clean enough. Sinon somehow snuck under her crosshair and gets the drop on her for another.
Tata looking for Jules. Something you have to do in this scenario. Trying to take down the flicks here, playing behind ramp. And of course, as we mentioned, there's no AWP on the CT side, so there's no true resistance to Tata just peeking out and trying to find fights. Keller, though, is going to open it up, and suddenly Sinon 14 HP. That's a beautiful frag around the smoke. B, though, in mid, finds 2. They've got to get this bomb back over. They have to plan A, Scriv. There's not time to go back towards B. And they're running it. I don't think they've got the time. And as long as EndGame stay alive, they're going to win in a very unlikely circumstance. The time is the 6th player here for EndGame as they make it up to 8. It was such a brawl. But can they close out this series going into the second half?
Voices in my head, they say I'm lost, but I found myself in the dark. The voices in my head, they say I'm lost. Blow me like a C4, give me what I want. Mad Max whip you while I'm rolling up a blunt. They ask me where the body's at, I told them check the trunk. She asked me who the man is, I told her I'm the one. I told her I'm the one. You can figure where I'm from. I told her I'm the one. You can't make it where I'm from. Couple warrants and a gun to my name, low-key. Wood grain gripping and I keep it on me. Whole lot of new faces, I'm the real OG. Keep talking shh, and I'll put you on a white tee. The voices in my head, they said I'm lost. Blow me like a C4, give me what I want. Mad Max whip you while I'm rolling up a blunt. They asked me where the body's at, I told them check the trunk. She asked me who the man is, I told her I'm the one. I told her I'm the one. You can figure where I'm from. I told her I'm the one. You can't make it where slowly rising, just chasing surreal. And my prayers will float to rest. It won't bring me down on this jar within this ocean. Oh, I won't need you now. I'm forever.
And we're back. Half number 2. Looks very similar, doesn't it, to the way that Inferno ended? However, this time it's EndGame with the 8 and Redragon with the 7. So we are intrigued to see the pistol held quite a bit of weight, especially for Redragon last time out. But now they're moving on to the CT side. And, you know, it was a difficult one. Their economy got away from them, right? We talked about the save and everything. Maybe you just throw yourself in there because there was a number of then weird half buys, weird full buys where not everyone's full buying with an AK. So we'll see. CT side economy is not any easier, but hopefully they can get it under wraps.
Yes, indeed. Here we go then. Half number 2. EndGame winning their map pick. Close affair, 16-13. This is the pick of Redragon. And considering the map bias, it was a good T side, but as Squid was pointing out, pistol round would go a long way to making this doable. Jess finds the first, but is traded in the end. Tata finds another. It's actually V in towards mid, I believe. Potentially through the smoke, but 3-on-3 ultimately is the result. Coldizina, though, on the flank finds the first, and now these players caught in 2 minds. V turns around, decapitates another 2-on-2 on a knife edge right now.
Yeah, no kit available, though, for that CT side. We talked about the difficulty of breaking into this bomb site, so they are just biding their time. Nade goes towards Closet. Little flicks with the first, and Sinan trying to peek out here, but no heads being found as yet. Vi will change that and actually retrieves the kit in all the chaos here, but there's not a lot of time. Gets the frag, got the kit, got plenty of time to get the defuse in. So Redragon mounting a successful retake there on B after a pretty rough start to that round, you have to say.
Yeah, Vi, though, absolute hero. Killing the player flanking mid was the pivotal moment. If that player in mid gets out, stays alive, and just becomes a thorn in the side, I'm sorry, but you're not retaking the B bomb site in that scenario. So incredibly important pivot and kill. And EndGame have decided we got a bomb plant. We can drop some AK-47s. 3 of those are in play. Probably should have taken a pause to sort out this buy, but nonetheless, the buy is in. They're grouping up towards long, and it's Redragon. They might not be aware that there could be an investment there right up mid. Keller here. Teammate nearby, just behind in Duty. They're just sitting tight for the moment. They peek out. This could be disastrous. There are players holding the angle.
Hear a pin drop, couldn't you? As they creep up long. Control towards short could be big and probably turns into a flank. Early peaks means Vi gets a frag, but I think this bomb's going to go down, to say the least. Duty looking to try and deny away, but a molly comes her way. A key kill towards long needs to be earned here. It'll be Flicks getting it. Vi close to the site. It's available, but the weaponry here, a scout and an MV9 might be difficult to work with. Keen flashes coming round. It's Naomi that uses them to her advantage to find a double. In towards short as well over the top of the box and covered very nicely. A really well put together post plant there from EndGame.
Naomi during this series has been brilliant. Inferno was a great masterclass of playing slow on T side, getting the information, being in position for the flanks and poking from the sides. CT side was even better in terms of raw frags. And what we're seeing here again on the T side is if Naomi is alive in a late round scenario, she positions well and is money to hit the shots. So she, for me, has been the real star of the show so far and is certainly aiming to make it on a clean 2-0. But Vi, other ideas on the D.
Tata as well. Also ringing a few bells, so EndGame start with a double deficit. Not looking too good, so we'll see. We'll get that long control inadvertently, I suppose. But yeah, Redragon pretty heavily stacked on top of each other to possibly close this round out. It's going to be another tough run for EndGame. And, you know, in a round like this, very curious. Talked about this with a few of the commentators, you know, on the broadcast and whatnot. Picking up a kit. You never know. And now with, you know, 2 kills coming in for them, it could make all the difference. The cross will be successful here from EndGame. Finding one on the way. Should get a bomb plant as well, but still 4 more to get through.
Nade kill's massive here. Codazina on kind of a, we like to say, an all-in angle. You're either going to find the frags and look like a genius or get decapitated and look much less so. Lulu trying to take a teammate's contact. The flash comes out. Doesn't really catch these players. But ultimately, we're in the one-on-one. The bomb plant looks really good for Lulu. She wants to back off towards long, but instead she's playing close and B on the Mag 7. Seems quite adamant. The player is out towards long, but Deagle in hand checks the ramp, finds the frag, and just like that, we're all square. Money reset for EndGame. They can buy back in this one, but Redragon are right back in this.
And again, those kits kind of making a difference, right? I think it's funny. You know, able to get a clean defuse. You play the clutch a little less panicky, maybe. An extra 5 seconds buys you a lot more than you think. So, yeah, Redragon getting away with the force buy, and certainly not going to be an easy one into this round, but they are keeping things interesting. And the back and forth vacillation that we're seeing here. Love pulling that word out.
That's a good word.
Back and forth is pretty much the only way that you can say it. You know what I mean? But I think semantics, vacillation's like what a slinky does, what a spring does, you know? So I guess I gave it a Google, mate. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was on broadcast, felt like I was saying back and forth a bit too much, and you just go back and forth thesaurus, and there you are.
You can't give up all the secrets like this. You can't give up all the secrets.
That one is a very surface level secret, I think. But yes, indeed. Sometimes we have to dig a bit deeper as casters.
Soon you'll be revealing that the trick to writing good articles is putting in all the rubbish words and then going on Google and writing in synonyms for interesting. Or something along the lines. The under a bit of pressure. Molly comes onto the tunnels, but that's behind the players. So he's not going to do any real work in terms of isolating out of these terrorist offenders. Just like that. Entry frags found. B defense crumbles. And interesting kill, but it's not going to matter. EndGame picking up another kill as we're going tit for tat here in the second half.
It's another way of saying it, I suppose. Yeah.
You could say they're vying for the lead.
Mm-hmm. There's a pun in there as well, sort of. Yeah, maybe there's a little bit more available than I first thought.
Yeah, all right, Duty.
Kind of funny though. I think Redragon is suffering a little bit from not quite knowing where to put their players and how to activate their players. Right. I think we're seeing the same sorts of names over on the EndGame side find success. Although LeFlix is definitely a lot stronger here. But for me, Duty was one of the standouts on the lurk, on the, you know, pesky positions and whatnot. And this game not quite doing as well. So Redragon may be suffering a little bit from figuring out how to activate their players. Maybe in this one as well, suffering a little bit from weaker weaponry, trying to crunch into tunnels. Does not work. 4 quick kills, nice and easy for EndGame now.
Real potential there for the team side to panic and have nades in hand and get overwhelmed, but seemed to hold firm. Looked good and all the frags went their direction, and suddenly Redragon, they have no cash left. Of course, the force by wars are always going to favor the T side economically, and here we can see the problem. Redragon forced to save here, and they'll have no AWP in the next. unless somehow they stack up multiple kills on a single player. So, EndGame now have a great opportunity to just clean up versus the Pistols, bank up cash, and set themselves up amazingly going deep into this half.
Certainly feels that way, doesn't it? They are once again in control in the second half. It was same story on Inferno. Redragon wrestled it pretty well, to be fair, in the first half of this one. But at the moment, down and out. And again, the economy, it feels like a pretty big issue for them on this CT end of things. They really do not have room to be making mistakes. And I think we're as yet to see a fully clean, full rifles from either side. So next round should be a bit interesting in that sense.
Lulu was a singer, right? I am thinking of the right person.
Yes. Yeah. She had a show as well.
See,
and
it's a bit before my time, so I guess
she was our only Eurovision winner as well. Just to throw that one in there.
There you go. Hang on, we've won it more than once.
Maybe. Here we go, another fact check.
I might be wrong, but I think even like Cliff Richard did it and won.
No, we've had quite a few actually.
We're just terrible now.
Yes. Yes. But Lulu won famous. Bucks Fizz won apparently. Apparently we won in 1997. I don't remember that. The year before I was born. So there you go. Yeah,
I'd have been 1 year, well, like half a year old. So.
Lulu's definitely our most famous. If there's any UK homies in the chat, they will probably recognize the name at least a little bit. 1-for-1 out towards long though, Alan, and it's all a joke. It's all a bait as they are hitting themselves towards B, and EndGame just picking up the pace massively. And they just draw enough attention away from the B players, it would seem, to catch them off guard.
It's been the story of the last few rounds, isn't it? Whenever EndGame wants aggressive entries on B, they seem to find them on a platter. And Redragon, needless to say, given the scoreline, given the economy, they are running out of chances to correct this defense. They tried some aggression. They've tried playing the bomb sites, and they're just getting bullied. Is the plainest way to put it. Kell is trying to hold on to this M4. You just see Carrion starting to swarm around. B finds two, but that's all she's going to collect. No weapons saved over. It's going to have to be an eco, maybe some upgraded pistols for Redragon in this following. And EndGame are absolutely in touching distance now, closing it out.
Feels that way, doesn't it? We've got a pause coming in, I would imagine, from Redragon. Touch wood, it's not another technical issue here, but yeah, you would assume the CT side wanting to give themselves, as much room as possible to sort this one out. Maybe even two back-to-back. You still got a couple left, right? And the game is heavily under threat. But maybe there is such a thing as well as overthinking. All the same, not going to happen in this round, one would assume. So yeah, EndGame. Now's the time. Those nails being hammered in. I think I'm going to be super conscious of every time I use a cliche now that we've talked about the bingo card. So that's certainly one con to that idea, maybe, is that casters get very conscious of what they're saying, and that's maybe not what we want.
Yeah, I'm just looking it up. Cliff Richard came second in 1968.
There you go. It was quite the thing back in the day, wasn't it? When it first came out, I think pop stars were made. Now
yeah,
it's like,
it did,
not as cool, at least in the UK.
But it seemed to also be the case that at least the UK would throw their big axe at it. You know,
Yeah.
These names, the list I'm looking at, are some of the biggest names in British music, world music, even I guess at that point. But in modern day, it seems to be more of a proving ground, you might say.
Yeah.
So it's changed up a little bit.
It's a lot of fun, though. I mean, people have massive, massive parties just for Eurovision. And it is good fun. It's very very crazy. You know what I mean? Which I guess some people are really into that.
The Brits take any excuse
This is true.
to have a party. Like, we're having a party here. That is Lulu, fast out mid on the flashes, and she is so far ahead of any teammates. And you can see what it's doing to the defense. Vi here in mid is scrambling to try and help her teammates. Akela finds one. It's taken down, and Tata is absolutely penned in towards back of the platform. Akela and Vi are left remaining, and I mean, pick your poison. Do you go for this? 2-on-4, do you save? And I guess that question's been answered for them as EndGame again. I'm not sure how to put it, Scrib, but they're just getting so much space, so much respect given to them on the T side. Wherever they want to go, they break in, they find the entry frags, and unfortunately for Redragon, these CT defenses have just been falling flat on every front.
Yeah, I don't know, man. EndGame have just really hit their stride into the second half. It's kind of crazy. I think the competition here has dwindled, you know, even more so as compared to the way things went on Inferno. Redragon, I felt, moving on to the CT side, a fresh kind of start for them. But yeah, the setups just don't really seem as clean, even than EndGame's, right? We did see, yeah, Redragon broke them apart a fair amount with some very fast, you know, license to peak sort of half-buy rounds, but they seem to have a few more ideas going on, a few more bouts of aggression and whatnot, but not really been the case here for the side of Redragon. Early tag coming in, Tata going to find it. That could certainly make a difference here. Sinon flying in with the flashes, super confident that they're not going to peek into her, and has managed to hide away. Now we'll lose a teammate. Oh, and too many targets. That so often happens. You think your bullets are on, and it was too good to be true. And sometimes it is too good to be true. So a bit of a fluff up there, and of course they lose one in that exchange as well. So EndGame now in the deficit by 2. Make it 3. Low HP for the author of the flicks. You know, it's not looking too good here. They do have slight B control, though.
Got nades as well, so put these down. Door and window, and a bomb plant should be very much possible. CT side, Akela has a flashbang and a smoke. That flashbang will do a lot of work in terms of trying to get back through the doors or window. I'd love to see it put to work, so keep an eye out for that. But if they trickle in one at a time, this could definitely still go the way of EndGame.
Well, we'll see. It's going to have to be Lulu, and she can't get it done. Vi takes her down. So Redragon, they will cling on. They will stay alive a little while longer. Hopefully find themselves a few more. Maybe take us to overtime, of course.
All right, then. 5 in a row required. Doesn't sound like a lot, Scriv, but the problem is, look at this T-side money. It is absolutely out of control. Every single round here will be a buy round. All the way to the end. 5 gun rounds in a row required, and that is a lot for this CT side. There is no margin for error. No opportunity to give up cheap entry kills, and look at this. Rushing B, and it's only Jess in defense. Early flash is doing work. She finds a great kill, though, and team flash as well from Vi, it looks like. No, it's actually, yeah, flash over from Vi behind her. And that defense is looking a lot better this round than what we saw earlier on.
Yeah, very true. They're running with the opportunity that they've been given. Still kind of drop the B control. So again, we should be looking at a bomb plant here for the TN. Keep those buys coming for a very long while. But with the bomb going down, they find an isolated player. You know, so securing the round, certainly, you would assume. A little timid. Flash comes in. Flick's going to give him the space. Can't find one. So 11th will happen. 4 more to go. As said, though, plenty of cash for EndGame. The pressure will keep coming in. You know, you got rounds to work with. If in doubt, rush B. Didn't work. Okay, we might have to come up with something a bit more substantial then.
Yeah, Vi there. Undisputably the hero of the round. That flashbang behind a teammate to allow the second kill to come in is completely pivotal. If that support utility isn't flying over, Jess gets traded. It's a 4-on-4, and EndGame have the B bomb site. And as you've mentioned, ad infinitum in this game, retaking B is a tough affair at the best of times. And here we can see in the replay, Jester's great work on the first frag, but Navy there. Blind as a bat, dead as a dodo. We got it in.
Lovely.
Great stuff on the flashes.
So, EndGame just looking for that one round. You know, it seems so simple, but can't escape you at the best of times. Long push coming in. Not going to find anything. Actually, very anticlimactic. Both teams a bit afraid to fully commit around the corner of death, as it so often can be. So, yeah, long control there now. Maybe they'll try and go for that short control, as you talked about before. But EndGame, see what they do with this.
Cordizina has a lurk smoke down. She's going to decide actually to kind of peek through the left-hand side. There's a player in the cubby. And Jess comes out of hiding at exactly the right time. Keller's going to peek on a flashbang, but going to go down before it. Duty's caught out in the open. It's slipping away. They had the man advantage. And now these T-side players are covering ground so quickly. And unless Tata comes up huge, it is bomb site handed over to EndGame. And an ideal opportunity now to close out the series.
Yep, pressure on. Smoke flash. And that's it. A boost and a dream. Finds the first smoke going to go down, and they'll get the second here. LaFlix, it's all on her. Bomb is certainly planted for a smoke in to allow an initial cross, but now can't use that for the bomb. Oh, and gets the wall bang to boot. That indeed will be that 2-0 coming in for EndGame once again. Second time around. Looks just as good as the first, but you do have to say Redragon definitely